Guess who's back? Back again. Organic's back. Tell a friend. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Today, let's go into women's health because we all want to be healthy. We all want to be looking into anti-aging at some point in our lives. And if you're into longevity and anti-aging, you also want to make sure what you're doing now is going to have a compilation effect into your future self that is not going to be degenerative, but more so that you can keep moving and lean and healthy no matter if you're going through menopause or you are going through after childbirth or you're going through a surgery or recovering from cancer. These are many things women are going through all over the world in terms of hormones and women's health. I got this magazine book in Oxford when I lived there, and I kept it since then. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I really miss going into those shops and getting all my magazines. The reason why I actually made Tropical Wellness secret like this is because I wanted it to have a magazine feel. So if you haven't gotten a copy of my book yet, do go and get it. It has my favorite recipes that I've put together and a really nice story about the tropics. But I made it like this because I love magazines so much. I thought it was kind of like a cool summer read. It's like magazine style, but you can keep it on your coffee table, which is really nice as well. And so I have this book here that I'm going to share with you because I'm not sure if it's like a brand that's still going on in the UK, but it's called Look Better Naked. It was one series that came out. They might have them, regularly as magazines have subscriptions, I'm not sure, but it was from Women's Health nonetheless. And it was like a plan of your ultimate 6 hot body plan: slimmer, fitter, and sexier. This is usually what women want to feel because then you feel good in your clothes and you feel good in your body and you feel sexy if you're in a relationship, and things flow so much better on that front. Health, beauty, weight loss, food, and sex. That's women's health for you, right? The interesting thing is, a few years ago, I wrote an ebook that I haven't really put out. So I think I'll put a free version in here and get you to have access to it, and you can get on my mailing list as well. And it's based on Alicia Vitti's work because she's like the top doctor in this space. But I wrote from my perspective on women's hormones with our female cycle. Like, there are 4 seasons in the year: winter, spring, summer, and autumn. Female cycles also go through this change on a monthly basis. Even after menopause, these cycles are still happening because of how things flow, but in a different way. Many of the women I talk to are either pre-menopause, going through menopause, or post-menopause, unless, I'm hanging out with people my age or, under 45 and so forth. But the main thing to realize is that when it comes to men and women, it's completely different in terms of how to eat and how to work out and how to live and process feelings, emotions, conversations. Obviously, the biology is completely different. And internally as well, there are women who want to be more manly. There are men who are a little more feminine. I'm not commenting on what I think is right or wrong. However, I will speak to women who are in women's bodies, who want to understand themselves better, and who may have a male partner or males in their lives who they want to get to know better. So women's cycle will go through for 28 to 32 days, and that is how their seasons flow. Whereas males' season is every day, is how their hormones are changing. So their peaks with their testosterone and what they go through in energy levels throughout every day is what a female is going to be experiencing throughout an entire month, which is really fascinating. And men men and women should not be eating the same way, and we should not be training the same way either for things like cortisol management, which is the stress hormone, and balancing that, and also for our physique goals. So Lunar Glow, which is my ebook, and which is really good, is all about working with the female cycle. So you look at your life for every month and you can understand week by week what is happening, what your hormones are craving, and it's easier to make your shopping lists based on this, because if you are giving your body the right nutrients at the right times, it really reduces cravings in a lot of other ways, because you're getting the right dose of each protein, raw foods or cooked foods, or more salads or more soups or more starches at different times, where it becomes a lot easier to do things like carb cycling, manage your cravings, your portions, and your appetite changes. Because as a woman, you'll know, like, when we get hormonal or when our hormones are changing, there are dips and increases in things like our appetite. Obviously, for pregnant women who are going through their pregnancies, you'll notice appetite changes, how you have to exercise, and then also a lot of women go through things like postpartum and get depressed after having babies, and the whole process. I've spoken to many moms. I've never experienced it myself, obviously. These chats are coming from conversations that I've had with women through all walks of life. And what we can note is that our diet can play a huge role in how we feel and manage a lot of these changes in our hormones, emotions, psyche, as well as our supplementation. So what I love about this book is that it was a very big inspiration for me in my career early on when I was just getting started. And there are meal plans in here, because obviously I make meal plans for my clients, and fitness plans, and I make fitness plans as well, and work out with my clients online. But the main topic that I would like for us to go through is the 18 look better naked foods. In relationships, a lot of women start to feel self-conscious about their bodies, and then they turn down their husbands or partners because they don't feel confident enough naked in the bedroom. And this is a big topic that is very common in relationships. And for a woman to feel confident and sexy is a whole game changer in any relationship if you want to have a thriving sex life and also intimacy with your partner. When a woman is taking care of herself, which is a priority, and if it's not a priority, you should make it a priority. Even if you're a mother and you're giving, and you're burning out your energy to everyone else and you're depleting yourself, it is not serving anybody really and truly. And if you need to hire extra help or have extra hands around the house to give you that space and time to focus on your diet and your needs and take care of yourself, I highly recommend you do that, and you allocate budget towards making that a priority, because when you have better relationships, you have better health, and when you have better health, you have more energy and you can be more productive. And there's a saying, I'm sure we've all heard it way too many times, but it's put on your oxygen mask first. If a plane is crashing, you put on your mask and then you put on someone else next to you to help them out. Because what's the point of suffocating yourself to make sure everyone's okay and then you die? Like, we want you to be alive, right? Especially if you're like a prime person in your family, like, we need to keep it together. So you need to prioritize yourself. I know this is hard for moms to hear, but I'm sticking up for you, whether you'll stick up for yourself or not. I'm putting you as a priority, especially if you work with me, because you need to learn how to also put yourself as a priority. And it's not selfish, because like I said, like, what's the point of you going downhill to serve everyone around you? Like, surely you should all want to go up and be together and have that support system, right? Okay, 18 look better foods. We've got avocados. We've all heard about that. We love avocados. Avocado on toast, one of my favorites of all time. Guacamole, love, especially with tacos and chips. Favorite foods ever. Beef, this is saying beef. I'm not a personal fan of beef. I don't really eat it unless it's like a burger, like once or twice a year. But I think I'm allergic to steak, so I'm just like staying off it completely. But if you got a grass fed and you're into meat and you feel good with it and it's raised sustainably, you know, this is what is happening anyway. Berries, I love berries. Raspberries, strawberries, blueberries are my ultimate favorite. Like snacking, smoothies, so juicy fruit life, yum yum yum. Black beans, that's really nice in Mexican. I've made like Mexican black bean salad before. Black beans and rice is so comfort food, like if you're doing like vegan, oh my gosh. Or black bean burger, love. And a lot of people find they lose a lot of weight when they're having foods like black beans. It must be the fiber. Brussels sprouts, I love Brussels sprouts. I don't know how you feel about them, but I mean, it's not like as much of my favorite as broccoli, but I like them, roasted especially. Okay, so what they got in there, selenium. Selenium actually is a mineral that a lot of people are deficient in. I love when my mom has selenium supplements around. Like going to her house is like going to like a health doctor's office. She has so many supplements. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got back from spending time with my family and I feel super recharged because she has all these healthy natural supplements. And I'm like, this is how to do anti-aging and stay young. Like I want to follow what you're doing. But yeah, so Brussels sprouts have selenium, which is a vital trace mineral that mops up pesky free radicals and helps protect against heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cancer. A cup of Brussels sprouts contains twice as much selenium as butternut squash or kale. So your thyroid, this is a big topic for women. If you're a woman, you probably would have heard someone talk about thyroids. But your thyroid isn't able to produce certain hormones if it doesn't have it. So you can blame hormones for a lot of bad stuff, but they also happen to run your entire system. And thyroid hormones specifically control the metabolism. Of course, we all want to boost our metabolisms to keep fit and healthy. And yeah, some of this has sulforaphane. Sulforaphane sounds familiar from university days. And this will help fire enzymes that research suggests may stop breast cancer cells from growing. Okay, breast cancer obviously is a big topic for women's health, and the sooner we can get rid of it, the better, because it's either taken many of people that we know's lives or has made them really sick. Thank God for all the cancer survivors. I have a few in my female friendship group and strong, amazing women that we love and admire all the time. Chicken breast. Gotta love a chicken breast. Alright. Simple, easy to cook, good protein. Could be dry sometimes, like, but it works. You could do it Mexican, Asian, in a wrap, on a salad, with roasted vegetables. So many options with chicken breast. Baked in the oven. It might be dry, baked in the oven. I like it pan-seared. Dried fruit. Prunes and plums. In the morning, it's really good for digestion, I suppose. Eggs. Flax seeds. Hummus. Hummus is yummus. Those are one of my favorite, most of one of my friends from my teenage days used to always say, she's like, hummus is yummus. I love it. I love hummus. Dairy products. So I don't recommend dairy products because it causes a lot of mucus in a lot of people. And but if your body's fine with it, it's not promoting any cancer or it's not promoting any digestive stress. But the reality is, when I was in university, like a lot of the research that I was given said that like only like 30% of like the population can actually even metabolize and deal with dairy efficiently after breastfeeding as kids, and that's interesting news to me. However, it is a popular food. Nuts, gotta have a mix of nuts, you know. What are my favorite nuts? I like a pistachio in a salad sometimes, you know, a little almond here and there. Peanut butter is one of my favorite foods, especially if it's organic. Oh my god, you can't go wrong with like peanut butter with apple, or a peanut butter sandwich on gluten-free, or even on a wrap. Peanut butter and jelly, staple kid food. Olives and olive oil. As we know, the Mediterraneans, they live long lives, really healthily. Olives and olive oil is amazing for countless number of reasons. I love olives. It's like snacking if you're having friends over, if you're like a martini. Just kidding, I do not promote drinking or any alcohol use. Peppers, oh, these are good. Well, you have to look and make sure they're kind of organic, because they could be sprayed with pesticides, and we don't really want all those chemicals. But if you find some organic peppers, the vitamin C component to them is amazing, which means more vitamin C, better for your immune system. Salmon, wild salmon, you gotta get wild salmon. That is how that works, but it has been proven to reduce LDL, hashtag bad cholesterol, that clogs up your arteries, may promote stroke. And what it is also like increases your good cholesterol, which you need healthy fats to support your hormones and your vitality. Tofu, this is a mixed one. I mean, there's so much contradictory research on tofu, so it's here. If you are going to use it, choose organic, but you might have to be more individualized with that as a recommendation in terms of your personal medical records. Tuna, obviously there's a mercury component to tuna, but it is a good form of protein nonetheless, especially if you get wild caught, even better. It is a really good source of lean protein, and I eat it, and you know, whether it's fresh from the ocean, make a nice poke bowl, or I get it in a can. Like, they have some really nice quality ones here. I think the brand is it John West from England or something, and it's like really nice. Anyway, if you make that as nice in a salad or in a wrap, just quick protein when you need a boost. Oh, I grew up having it with like cucumber and carrot sticks. Simple. Whole grains, oats, overnight oats, oatmeal, oat pancakes, especially if it's gluten-free. Like if you're celiac, you have to go the gluten-free route. Granola, oats are here and there, but it's really good for heart health. It's filling, and what is most important is the fiber aspect to it. So those are 18 foods, look better naked foods. Obviously, to get your personalized results, you're going to want to tailor how to incorporate these foods into your life, what portions, when to eat them, how to combine them. These are all logistics that I can help with as a coach, or any nutritionist or practitioner, maybe a holistic naturopath. Dietitians and nutritionists may have different perspectives on how foods are used and incorporated into your personalized lifestyle, which is fine. So you want to choose someone that is similar to your beliefs, maybe based on your personal medical records as well, especially if you've dealt with allergies. I'm really good with dealing with that and making meal plans for that as well. All right, so that's this book. Other than that, my Lunar Glow book, which is on, I'm gonna post it for you to have. It's an ebook. It has a meal plan in there and a story about women's hormones and how to visually see this style of eating using seed cycling and using food and nutrition to keep your hormones shipshape, because we definitely want to do that, and support you through these changes in life. Because when it comes to working with our cycle and women's health, It's very important as women are a foundation of society, raising families, now moving into careers, changing the world, leading among men and raising families and babies at the same time or whatnot. And making sure you prioritize your health in that process is really a great idea. And a generic way of exercising for men, if you're trying to keep up with a man, really may not be your best bet when it comes to your physiology and working with what you got. Sometimes you gotta work what your mama gave you. I'm just kidding. To a degree here. But yeah, so that's the story with women's hormones, and you can get lunar glow and start looking into eating for your cycle, which really takes a lot of the stress out of how to eat as a woman. And then you can tell your partner about it so they understand what's going on different levels, and that will bring you closer together for more intimacy. And the main goal is, I work with many wives and people in relationships and couples, and the main goal is really for you to have this conversation where you can understand what each other's experiencing and going through on a few levels, and to open the door for that chat, so that if someone needs more space and time at certain times of the month, it's not to be disrespectful or critical, but to understand that there are changes that are happening on various levels of the cellular biology and physiology. For example, when it comes to natural ways of life, a woman spending time in her winter space to reflect, journal, contemplate on life, maybe get some more rest is really healthy and important, because the energy then starts to pick up. So let's say the premenstrual phase is autumn, where you're kind of winding down, cravings might be kicking in. Maybe that's your most anxious time. That's when a lot of women want the chocolates and the junk food. And to break out of those cycles is challenging, nonetheless. But if you're working on goals with a coach, what I recommend is working through these cycles and going through the emotional psychological patterns of each month, of each cycle, for you to really evolve, to be able to healthily move through these cycles with different foods, exercises, mindfulness practices. And so you will feel more grounded along in that way, which makes you feel more in tune with yourself as a person, which helps a lot to stay calm and balanced and mindful in the process of life's changes. So the autumn premenstrual phase, then moving into the winter menstrual phase, is, if you think about it like seasons, winter's kind of hibernation, you stay low-key. Autumn is kind of like preparing for winter. You get your ingredients in the grocery, maybe start winding down on the social calendar. And then your spring is going to be your follicular hormones start picking up again, and that's when you might want to do like more raw food. You might be getting your spring back in your step and going through that more vibrant time until you reach summer, peak ovulation time. Obviously, if you want to have babies, then that would be your prime time to get busy. But if you're not, it's still a really good time to socialize. You're magnetic at that time, and you really could feel your best, your most confident as a woman. That's how it goes. And for a man to view this, to understand more about women, because I feel like men sometimes have no idea about women, and this conversation is not very commonly had. But the more that this is a conversation spoken about and shared on, you can understand that it's easy for a man to think, okay, well, you're depressed now, or why are you sad, or why are you emotional, or why are you doing that, why are you pulling away, is it me, is it you, and could deal with so many uncomfortable emotions, feelings, thoughts about rejection or about how it is. But the point is that it is a cycle, and that space and time is healthy and necessary. And it's not to take it personally, it's the hormones until it evolves and the energy comes back in, everything's happy, and then to understand how it flows. And so as it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, and that's kind of how it works. And as a partner, the best thing to do is be supportive, and I see many couples doing this really well. You know, can I get you extra food at this time? Do you need more rest? Do you need your hot water bottle? Or let's go out now, you're feeling more upbeat. And you kind of move with that and you understand how it works. And for the younger generation, it's important for you to know this, because for your relationships coming up, it's easier to know this and communicate about it rather than judging or criticizing a person based on these changes, to accept someone as they are. And that is one of the foundations of intimacy and to connecting with your partner and really having that trust and that open, honest communication. And it's nice, even if you're in the dating phase, before you're even, you know, officially in a relationship, getting to know someone as friends and whatnot, to talk about these things so that you kind of have that understanding and awareness